Hello, my name is Jon Rethmeier, and today I'm going to be doing my from scratch Excel model based on question 2 from chapter 8. And let's kind of read through the question real quick. Upon starting your new job after college, you've been confronted with selecting the investments for your 401k retirement plan. You have four choices for investing your money. One with a money market fund that has a historic 1% per year return, a long-term bond fund with a 4.5% annual return, a conservative common stock fund that has earned a 6.5% per year return, and then an aggressive common stock fund that has a 9% per year return. And then for A and B, it's if you were to contribute $5,500 per year for the next 35 years, how much would you accumulate in each of the above funds? And then it's going to ask us to change our worksheet so that it allows for less than annual investments, monthly, biweekly, etc. And the annual investment will be the same, but it will be made in smaller, more frequent amounts. To start off, I'm going a little quiet real quick, and I'm just gonna create the whole chart that's gonna help answer A and B. Start with a retirement 401k analysis. And then we have our annual contribution, our years and payment per year. So, what's the- We need to find the periodic rate. Now I'm going to format. And then for the periodic rate, it's just going to be this divided by B4, and we need B4 to stay. Oh, I mean, it's going to be B6. We can drag this down. And then we have money mark B. Then we have our bond future value. And then we have B. We use a future value function. We have the rate, which is this, and then we have the number of years, and then we multiply this by before to connect the cells, and then we have our annual contribution. Also divided by 4. And then we have 0 for the present value and then 0 period. Oh, and then we also need to make this a negative, so it's not a negative future value. Drag this down and we should get it correct. All right. So this answers no, question A. This is the future value of each one of these investments if they were to invest $5,500 per year for the next 35 years. And this is how much would accumulate. And then for B, we changed our worksheet that allows our annual investments to be monthly and biweekly through these formulas. So now we have to do a scenario analysis, and now these future values are connected to the periodic rates as well as the payments per year. So it'll say the same amount, but just in different periods. So now we're going to move on to setting up a scenario analysis. But first, before we do that, we need to define names. Okay, so name payment per year, and then we need to do money market, feature value as a new name. You need to define bond fund fee. Then we need to do this, and then define the name for the last one. All right. So now we need to go to data and do our scenario analysis. So we need to do it. It's going to be annual. Okay. And then it's going to be 1. It's going to be add. And then we have our quarterly. This is going to be 4, add. And then we have our monthly, which will be, okay, and this will be 12. Oop, go back, edit that. So we're going to be 12. And then this is going to be weekly or bi-weekly, which is 26. And then we also have weekly, which will be 52. Okay, so these are the changing cells to help us determine what the future value will be based on the different periodic rates, such as the amount of times you pay. So now we can create our summary. We can go here, and then for our resulting cells, we want that to be all the future values. So we do that. And then we can get rid of this row. And here we have the answer to question C. We set up our scenario analysis to see how much we have accumulated in value based on how often we are to invest. All right, and now lastly, moving on to question D, what relationship do you notice between the frequency of investment and the future value? Create a column chart of the results that more clearly shows the outcome from more frequently investing. So going back to our scenario analysis, we're going to use this information to create our chart. So let's start by highlighting the data that we want to highlight. So we're going to use the data from each one of the investments and then its period. And then we're going to go insert a column chart. And then this is going to be the frequency of investment and the future value. All right, and then we need to change these series names. We're going to go select data and go to money market. Then we're going to go bond fund. Then we're gonna go observe common, common, and then this. All right. And here we have our chart that highlights the increase over time um, for each of the periodic rates. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you enjoyed.